10 seconds.
Welcome to Clever Title Pending, a proud member of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We talk to creatives about creativity and the business behind them. So type in your questions and become part of the conversation. And now, here's your host, Brian K. Morris.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday night with us here at Clever Title Pending. It's the August 17th, 2021 edition. Hope you're having a great week so far. We are planning on having a superb show tonight. We want to say, first of all, to everyone who's expecting W.G. Westerman appearing tonight, something came up and she could not appear, but we have rescheduled her for September 14th. So please set your calendar. September 14th, R.G. Westerman will be back bringing some wisdom on all kinds of great information on her writing career. She's a very talented lady. I think you're going to appreciate meeting her. But anyway, it took 3 people to replace her, and we've got them on tonight. JoeDog McKeel, Nicholas Tockert, and Author McKayla Jade. We're going to talk about broadcasting and publishing, but we expect your comments and your questions to be amazing. So please get your questions ready, because this is a great learning opportunity for us all. I usually wind up taking notes too. But first of all, we got to pay some bills, and the first one is thanks to Plasma Fire Graphics, whose ongoing sponsorship of the show helps us out quite a bit. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. You've put a lot of sweat equity into your book, and now you want the best cover that you can possibly get to sell that book. Maybe you also want some graphics to put on social media to get people fired up about your work. Maybe even a beautiful book trailer like you just saw. Well, Plasma Fire Graphics can do all that and more. Jeffrey Hayes is incredibly talented. He's easy to work with, I know, and he's affordable. He's an indie producer at indie prices, but his work is definitely major league. And if you want your book to go major league, then check out his work on Facebook as well as at plasmafiregraphics.com. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers quite a bit. And anyway, they did my latest book, Snow Ambition, number 4 in the Snow Short series, available now from Ben Books for 99 cents on that Amazon thing. And also, we want to give a shout out to Amy Hale. She is feeling better today, but please go to author Amy Hale and check out her work. And I don't have her commercial loaded up on this in this file, but anyway, please check her out. Check out her work on Amazon as well. That's Amy Hale. Check out her new book, Neurosis. It's awesome. Speaking of awesome, how about our Patreon supporters? Got to put a couple more up there. Forgot to do that today. But anyway, we love our Patreon subscribers, because thanks to them, this show stays on the air and it grows. But we couldn't do it without them. And in return for their monthly support, they get stuff. They get mentioned on my shows. They get peeks at works in progress. It's a great, great thing, Patreon. And they do right by us. We try to do right by them. If you want to find out what my rewards are for your monthly support, financial support, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And all of our members tonight are part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please check out the shows we've got. 7 days a week of incredible programming and information. And tomorrow morning we'll have Never Mind the Furthermore with myself. And Then let's see, Wednesday night. That's let's look at the schedule. The Truth Mongers with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming. That is always a good time. And also, don't forget Friday morning. We'll have a special Nevermind the Furthermore with guest host Carl Witzman. You will definitely want to check that out. We'll have more details tomorrow on Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m., 9 a.m. Central in the Heartlands. But anyway, folks, I have delayed long enough, and I'm excited to bring out my friends here. I'm going to unmute everyone if I can. JoeDog's dogs may be going crazy, and we didn't think he was. And we didn't think he was a cryptid, but apparently we were wrong.
Johnny! I'm so sorry. Tuesday nights are Lydia's bring her kid to work day, so that's why I don't normally broadcast. And Shocky gets into things. Sorry, go on. You're loaded. My apologies.
Okay. It's going to be one of those nights, friends and neighbors. Between Joe's dogs and Nick's whatever the hell that was, we're going to have a fun night. Well, we always have a fun night because these are three of my favorite people, I got to say. So
I'm a people. You heard it here. Contrary to popular belief, I'm allegedly a person. I mean, allegedly. Anyway.
Yeah, allegedly is the best we can do, Nick.
I've moved up in the world.
I don't know what I just missed.
We're here and we're not sure either.
It cannot be any better than what just happened.
Oh.
You want to?
We had some religious door knockers.
Oh, no.
Oh, cool. You should have invited them to be on the air with us.
I did invite them in, and I realized what shirt I had on from years ago.
Okay.
It says Tennessee Paranormal Investigation Team on the back of my shirt.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I looked at them. They said, "Hi, we're with Joe." I said, "Right now, anything will work. We're fixing to have an exorcism. Come on in."
You did not.
Exorcisms are just spiritual interventions. It's not that big a deal.
Right.
The look on their face was... Then when I turned around and read the back of my shirt, they, no, we'll go on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. See the things you can learn on this show, folks. Next time you get these people, now you know what to do. All right, that was a public service announcement from the Rising Tide Broadcasting Network.
And I'm sorry, I may be giggling the rest of the night.
I will be suppressing mine, that's for damn sure.
If you aren't, I'm not doing my job. That's okay.
Oh.
Maybe we won't need the questions
The door
tonight.
breather. Bye,
Screw the questions. We have Nick.
That's right. Nick and Joe, we're covered.
Nick
McKeel and I
and
just
answer
going to sit back and
questions,
watch.
folks. I can multitask. Okay.
No, it's supposed to be for anyway, because I'm totally derailed.
Yeah, I think I am too. So in order to
I usually
derail
have
me,
that effect on women. This is awesome. I've missed everyone but McKayla. I'm the switch is off today. Okay, that's all right.
Oh, thank you for showing up, folks. Good night, everyone. Anyway, let's go around the room. We will start ladies first, of course, and that means McKayla, Nick. Okay. But anyway, we'll go around the room, and please, you get the spotlight. Tell everyone how awesome you are. All right, and of course, we'll start with McKayla. Tell everybody who you are and how amazing you are, and you are.
I am so darn amazing. I am McKayla Jade. I'm an author, editor, now podcaster, I guess. Yeah. And I'm pretty darn awesome because I help other people get just to where I am.
Mm-hmm. And what shows do you do on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network? I
do Morning Motivation at the Ass Crack of Dawn, and I do Tidbits and Scribbles on Monday nights.
There we go. And they're all amazing shows, and we love McKayla. Thank you for being here, sweetie.
You're welcome.
Nick Tockert, tell everyone how amazing you are and about your show.
I don't know about amazing, but I do try to be entertaining. And I am Nick Tockert, freelance author, artist, game designer, retired paranormal consultant, and a few other things that shouldn't really apply, but they will as the day goes on. Alleged cryptid, alleged human, and alleged puppeteer. None of these are true, or all of them. Whichever amuses you, create your own reality. I am the author of The Simple Sword, The Fighting Axe, and the recently released Hybrids, The Sons of Gods role-playing game, the Quick Play Edition. Buy my things.
There we go. And he's beautiful. And don't forget the Historical Fencing Guild.
Oh Lord, I'm on every Friday night from 8 o'clock till 10 theoretically. I know my friends. Doing the Historical Fencing Guild, where I live stream answering questions about swordsmanship, Western martial arts, and how it all overlaps, and adapting for special needs. On Wednesday nights on Red Valkyrie Presents, I run a ongoing RPG that is shockingly tongue-in-cheek, and if you don't like my rules, please see my rules bottle here. Let's see, that show. I do Insomniac Weapon reviews, where I wake up in the middle of the night and I review a training thing because I can't sleep, so I have to do something with myself. And then I randomly terrorize the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, popping up expected or unexpected on things like Stupid O'Clock. Clever title pending, and in the comments of never mind the furthermore. My background is not actually moving. What's happened is there's so many shoggoths that reality is warping around me. This is a normal state of being. You just get used to it.
The joys of Earl Park, what can I say?
Absolutely. Earl Park, where the men are men and the corpses are nervous. But just guys, this is a public service announcement, but remember, necrophilia means never having to say you're sorry. But oh no, Uncle Carl's claiming it's my ceiling fan. You know what happens when my ceiling fan steps up.
That's right. That's right. We could see a beheading here, but fortunately, we have an exorcist in the house. What?
Yeah, go to Joe. He's a paranormal investigator. I was a consultant. Two different things. Hi, Joe.
Dignity, always dignity. Joe, tell everyone who you are, and well, you'll figure it out.
I'm beginning to question myself after that one. Oh, hello, everybody. I'm Joe McKeel, otherwise known as JoeDog or the JoeDog. I have Stupid O'Clock, which airs twice a week on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Trying to figure out how to make the Twitter work, so just to make more people upset with me. It airs Thursday nights at 9 and Saturday nights at 11. I also run Armchair Rocket Science, which airs whenever a good launch is coming up. I think the next big thing coming up is CRS-28, Resupply Mission to the Space Station. That is August 28th at about the ungodly hour of 3 a.m. So I don't know if we're going to be pulling that one or not. And also, I am the director of Halicon, a fantasy horror convention in Dalton, Georgia, the weekend of Halloween, October 28th through 29th through 31st, at halocon.com, where the great Brian K. Morris will be one of our fantastic guests. Uncle Carl and Aunt Donna are going to be tagging along for fun, and maybe a few more from the Rising Tide Network.
That would be swell. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you very much, JoeDog. And I'm Brian K. Morris. Well, you saw me in the introduction, so I don't need to say anything about myself. But anyway, I'm glad y'all are here. Now, all of us have many different talents. McKayla is an amazing writer. JoeDog runs an incredible convention and is very, very intelligent. And the ever so sliding away Nicholas Tockert is a weapons master and author. What made, and I'll just throw this out there, what made you want to go into broadcasting initially? Anyone could start. Nick?
I was bored during the pandemic.
Okay, JoeDog, that's even better. Anyway, you say now I'm leading the witness. I do know the answers most of the time, but what happened during the pandemic that made you want to start broadcasting?
Everybody was stuck at home and nothing to do. I'd already missed out on like 3 cons by the time that everything started shutting down. And I'm going to give him a plug, John P. Pica. Where John K.
John B. Pica.
Yeah, John B. Pica. Where did I get the K from? I was looking at you, Joe, Brian. John B. Pica was one of the first people that started using StreamYard that I saw. And, he had me up on his show, and I got to looking into it a little bit more. And they had a free version that had like 20 hours free. So I, made me a little account, and I got a hold of Skunk and John and Dan and says, hey, this is a neat thing. We can, talk to people online and everything, and we can get together and, sort of make up for lost time. That first night was 4 hours and 30 minutes of that free 20 hours.
Nice.
Before April was over, I had to buy the service just to keep any communication between all of us, because we burned through the 20 hours in less than 2 weeks.
That's great. Now you're broadcasting how many weeks now? Or how many hours a week?
Minimum of 4.
Yeah.
Me personally, of course, Dan Hollifield has stepped up, and I am so proud of Dan. He stepped up on his own and started taking over what we used to do as the after show, and that was another 2 hours.
Right.
And I'm glad Dan did, because that's allowing me to get that stuff they call sleep every now and then.
Sleep is well overrated, but no, that's cool. And Dan is doing a great job. We've had to give him a plug too.
Great outro.
Yeah, there we go. Serious, but Nick, were you ready? Did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I of course received a phone call in the middle of a broadcast while this is going on, so I'm like, I'll be quiet to handle that. Oh, I actually, what you guys know, while I'm a very tongue-in-cheek, kind of goofy persona, what I do actually is very important. I've spent the last 20 years altering and developing Western martial arts styles to help people either with severe physical limitations or who have endured massive psychological trauma. So rape survivors, suicide survivors, other things that are more horrific than those two combined. And they came to me, or they couldn't learn to sword fight from anybody else. And normally I would do a weekly weekly practice with a lot of these individuals and other, healthy individuals who just wanted to learn to fight. And when the pandemic really hit, I think I could say pandemic without trouble, I promised I would be here weekly. And I've only taken 1 week off since then, and I pre-recorded something to cover it, and that's for one of their weddings. But people need light, and they need help, and they need non-judgmental, non-gatekeepy information that can be processed. So being that I'm a product of a lot of PBS, it's like Betty Hill and Mr. Rogers kind of balance out in my universe. I try to do so in a fun and entertaining way. While, there's just too much dark, there's too much serious. So I put that out there on my historical fencing channel. Once in a while I get to my old art channel where I do live art and I do stop motion. But that's more for me, so it got put to the wayside for the service side. And that's and since I started getting out here, I'm helping more people. I get DMs that, it brightens their day or whatever. And it's just sort of this really neat gestalt where I can do more good online than I can do in person while I fight my own limitations. I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for, but that's kind of where I'm built from.
That's good. It's a great answer, actually. A lot of people did get into doing a lot more broadcasting last year than they ever had before. He said, speaking from experience. So, McKayla, how about you? What got you involved in broadcasting?
Brian K. Morris. It's all his fault.
Oh, damn.
But really, if you're on any kind of social media and you try and give advice, sometimes it comes off the wrong way. Like if you say, that sentence could really be better if you structured it this way. Sometimes you get a little backlash. And sometimes you get people saying, oh, that's really great. What else can you help with? Well, I have opinions. So sometimes those opinions come off as, on social media, it's very hard to convey what you're saying. In a video, you can really convey what you're saying or what you're trying to say. And I found that for a lot of newbies, they were told you must do things this way or else. That's not true. And I wanted to get that message out there. And the easiest, quickest way for me to get it out there was to tell them, hey, I've done this. Hello, I've done this. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it your way. And for me, it was the quickest way to get the message out there.
And also, we also, at least McKayla and Nick and I, we use it as a promotional tool for our other creative outlets.
Yeah,
and Joe, I know JoeDog shares his love of science and NASA with the public too. Very informative stuff. In fact, it's kind of rekindled my love of the space race all over again.
The space race now is Apollo 2.0.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, I'm going to throw some can you believe it news. Blue Origin is now suing NASA because they didn't get chosen for the contract.
I saw that. I didn't do any reading on that. But how long was the contract signed? How long ago was it?
Just a couple months ago. The actual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got passed over for the contract. Of course, I got a video that of Jeff Bezos talking about such a thing in 2017 that said, if something like talking about the lunar module with Northrop Grumman, 6 months from the time the bid was out for the lunar module lander, the contract was signed with Northrop Grumman. He said if that happened today, there'd be 3 different lawsuits from the people that didn't get their thing. I can't believe somebody would do anything like that.
Until it was his turn.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, but that's it. That's fascinating. But we've got some people commenting already. Let's say hello to some of them. Teresa Dunn, good evening. Brian, McKayla, and Nicholas and Joe. Going to be a fun night. That's our goal. And Dan Hollifield of Last Man Standing. Open Channel D, please. I know that one. And Historical Fencing Guild every Friday night at 8 p.m. And Carl Witzman, good evening. And Donna Carleen, and who tells him Channel D is not operational at the moment. Please refill the ink in your radio. And OMG, look at that bunch. Yeah. And here we go. To my credit, I'm chilling, having only whispers of StreamYard experience. What, are you using StreamYard, Nick?
I'm learning StreamYard, so I'm not using it yet. I'm tinkering with it because I want to use it more for my pre-recorded as an edit and be able to pull in some stuff. I might have some long-term plans once my contract work is up. I never have pots in the fire. Please don't look at my Google Docs list of partial documentations. No,
Oh, yeah. Well, that's another thing, that broadcasting can get you work. I know it's helped me. Nick, would you say that's true?
Yeah, well, obviously, you get me work, Brian K. Morris. I mean, I've got 2 contracts and several offers because of working through Rising Tide and the awesomeness that is this group, to the point where I'm like, because of things I can't always talk about, can I get back to you in a month? I know, but because everyone hates those 3 little letters NDA till it stops existing, and that's kind of my universe right now. But
hashtag first world problems.
Oh, Money, money, money. I need money because I'm fat and ugly. You know,
I'm looking forward to where NDA means never deny anything.
There you go. That could get you into trouble.
I am repulsed by the concept never deny anything. I prefer the old TNO, trust no one. You know, this has served me far better. No.
And Donna Carlene says, don't know if I'm more scared or intrigued by that lineup. And Carl Witzman fastens his seatbelt. I should have done the same thing.
It's a lot of eroticism on one screen. I know that your vision may be blurring like Vaseline. I'm sorry, petroleum jelly of generic nature has been smeared all over the lens, but that's okay. Roll with it. Allow yourself to feel things.
And stay tuned for Sunrise Sermonette with Nicholas Anthony Tockert. And Donna Carlene says it's a transmitter, not a radio. And if you can hear on it too, it's a transceiver. And we're getting technical. And Carl just corrected Donna on a grammar point. Somebody call 911 for Carl.
He's gonna come down that hallway.
Yeah, really. Well, we won't be seeing Carl anytime soon. And OC Electronics, and here we go. And Carl is spluttering. Poor man. I hear that happens when you get older.
Stabbed by the angle of the knife.
Exactly. Yes, and make a man from Uncle Joke, and the crowd goes wild, says Dan Holofield. And wow, this is the usual Tuesday night thing. You know, they are just like ignoring us. So
I have that effect on women normally.
Well, Brian, check our Twitch comment. You may need to make it go away.
Okay, will do. Thank you for the warning. And there we go. We show up no matter who's on the show tonight. Proves that. I got the A-listers here.
Fault.
And me.
Yeah, stop it, Nick. Stop it. This is now segueing into imposter syndrome. Anyway,
multitask. I'm creative in my imposter syndrome. Let's talk about the roots. Uncle Carl, we need your couch.
And let's see. And yes, Teresa's joining in the fun. Excellent. And yes, Carl, I will get the thing. I will get the new card going. And hello, everyone. And I passed Cindy up. Jokes will be coming. I need them. Yes, Cindy had a computer mishap earlier, so checking a website or something. So we're glad you're here. And let's see. And Dan Holofield says if Ted would decide if his shows are weekly or bi-weekly, yeah. And hello, Doris Jones. Labors of Love. Good to see you. Hello, Ryan Permisson. Glad to have you. Okay, here we go. And thank you for sharing this. I do appreciate it. Ryan Permisson says 5 books that belong on everyone's bookshelf that are not yours. I have no answer. What about you three?
To Kill a Mockingbird, 1984, Outbreak by Robin Cook.
Oh, good one.
Burnout by Stephanie Osborne. Is that 4 or 5?
I think that's 5.
I don't know. I wasn't counting.
Do one more. Just make sure.
Well, I would say Stephanie Osborne's Displaced Detective about New Orleans, but I'm sort of biased about that one because it's about a paranormal investigation team from Tennessee.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah.
And JoeDog was on. I think you were on. Let's see. Let me check my records. You were on the January 5th, 2021 edition of Clever Title Pending. Do go to Face or to YouTube, and you can see it in our playlist there. So
yeah, and that was the best episode of Clever Title Pending probably in years.
That was. It certainly was at the time the best episode that year. So I was very proud of it.
Well, it was the best episode that week anyway.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And that was before I started doing more than one show a month. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm checking my records here. Make sure I can speak with some authority. McKayla, how about you?
Narnia, obviously, over here. I have the whole set. Where the Red Fern Grows. I don't remember the author, but I know we had to read that, and that stuck with me all these years. I had a couple more. What were the other ones? That's all I got.
Okay.
What do you got, Nick?
Yeah. Nick.
Okay. I'm gonna say the KJV, because it's just great poetry. Even if you don't take it for religious, there's a lot in there if people actually read the book. The Lonely Guy's Book of Life, I want to say, by Tom Friedman. I know it's lost
Friedman, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Okay,
Bruce.
I'm thinking of something else. Sorry.
But The Lonely Guy's Book of Life. Oh God, A Night in the Lonesome October by Roger Zelazny. Gigantes Into the Soleil, the Tom Leone translation. Oh God, see, the last one gets hard because I'm thinking of all the nonfiction books I have stacked, like Roy Underhill's The Woodwright Shop, a bunch of my mechanical drafting books. So I'm gonna say, go. And then I go looking for a book I have that I put in backwards. So, The Haunting Scripts of Bachelor's Grove by Brian K. Morris would have to be my fifth, just to remind you that there's spooky stuff out there and it will eat your face. But
it's been another public service announcement.
I only do those. I'm one big living PSA. You know, I'm either an example or a warning. There's no in between.
There we go. And I was going to say my first two would have been like Warrior's Secret by McKayla Jade, The Simple Sword by Nick Tockert.
Oh no, he's right.
Yeah. I do recommend my books because I'm very proud of the
I was
damn
going to say, Brian K. Morris book right over there. See it?
I see it. Skyman, the original Skyman Bell's Master of Steam.
Yeah.
I know my book covers.
You should.
From the side. Yeah, I better by now. Human Scale by Patrick Sale. It's a book that shows that bigger is not always better. Cyborg by Martin Caden. And my fifth one, varies over time. I think anything by Harlan Ellison.
Kosh's Symbology. Koch's Kosh's. It's Koch, so it might be Kosh. Anyhow, his book on symbology is one of the most useful resources when I wasn't retired for consultations. So yeah.
Okay.
I have one more.
Yes, dear.
14,000 Things to Be Happy About.
Oh.
This entire book is nothing but things that you might or might not like. It just, you look through it any day of the week and it's just, there's things to be happy about.
I love how gentle we all are with our books.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we treat the damn things like Fabergé eggs. It's obvious here.
They can take it.
With
That's
the
right, a
exception
good
of
book is
Stephen
tough.
King's Cell. That is the only book I've ever thrown so hard it literally dinged the drywall and hit Mach 3. It broke the sound barrier by the end of that. Love Stephen King, don't get me wrong, but the man cannot write an ending to save his life. He needs to hire Brian to just cover the last chapter. Just like
I should read one of his books.
You know what, Brian? Do that. Write a whole book of possible last chapters for Stephen
There you
King's
go.
books.
How it should have ended, right?
Yeah.
How it
For
should have ended.
literary works, yeah. Well, we frequently toss comics on Comic Book Spectrum every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. So, if that counts for anything, Teresa Dunn has a question. Did you all find it hard to become authors, creators, and podcasters? How the heck are we balancing all this stuff? How are we keeping sane or moderately so? Yes, Nick.
I want to talk about that because on the Rising Tide Public, the YouTube group for Rising Tide Publications, you asked a fascinating question about how many hours do you work a week? And I've been doing this forever, but because it's disconnected, I never did the math. I always thought of myself as lazy, till I realized I'm broadcasting 20 hours a week, writing 25, 36 hours a week, drawing at least 2 hours to stay sane, and that's not even game design and stuff. So I couldn't not be a creator. Like, if I stopped, I'd be like a shark. Like, I went through a period where I physically couldn't move because of injury. I was literally paralyzed in my arms and legs, pretty much. And that's when I wrote this with 2 pens, stabbing a keyboard. When you're a creator, that's the first thing, you're a creator. Anyone who tells you you're not is trying to get you to lie to yourself, and you'll be either depressed or confused or disassociate from reality until you realize, I have to create. There's no choice. There's absolutely no choice in the matter. It's create or die.
Yeah. Now, how about you, JoeDog? You've got a lot of irons in the fire. So,
well, you would not believe the hours of prep that goes into Stupid O'Clock. How we have everything.
Those script meetings are insane. Why do you think I only pop on once in a while? Good Lord.
Yeah, I can't memorize all that stuff. I'm telling you.
I think I about killed Nick to that one.
I learned long ago, don't take a drink while JoeDog's talking.
Okay. Clear!
No, right now I am transitioning into the Halocon mode.
Mm-hmm.
So I may be backing away a little bit from the Halocon or the Stupid O'Clock shows, mainly to keep sanity, or I might actually be using them to keep my sanity.
That's true.
I don't know if anybody has ever run a convention. I mean, actually get into the ground floor of operating the convention. When you go next convention you go to, try to find the director and go, God bless you, child.
Yeah.
It's because I go to some cons that just absolutely flow smoothly, and some that are total train wrecks that I don't know how they make it look so smooth. Of course, now that I'm actually a con director, I know what to sort of look at. And I've seen things going, okay, how are they going to get out of this one?
Threats. The answer is immediate and powerful threats of violence.
There we go.
But Skunk will tell you he has seen situations that I have remained the most calm and cool person in the world. That we had an issue with a hotel one year that not this hotel that we're going to,
right?
That I could have gone to jail had anything else happened.
Oh my!
It was that situation, but yeah.
Oh dear.
I mean, and that goes on behind the scenes at conventions all around the world.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, hotels want you there. They want your money. They just don't want you to be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes they don't want you to come back having gotten your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I put on a show like that one time and found that the after seeing all these freaky comic book people walk up and down their steps, they almost multiplied the next month's room rental by 10. And it worked. We didn't come back. So, man, that's rough. So, McKayla, how about you now? McKayla is not only a very successful author and broadcaster. I think of all of us, she's having the fastest rise of subscribers on the Rising Tide Network right now. I'm proud of her, proud to say. But you still do personal appearances and such too.
Yeah,
and you and you work full time as well.
I do. So I have to fit everything in. So that's one of my videos on my YouTube channel has something about trying to fit it all in. How do you make it work? Sometimes it is hard. Sometimes it's, I'm coming home and it's 5 o'clock at night. Okay, dinner's happening. Normally I'm in bed by 7 or 8, but wait a minute, I've got to make a video because I promised I would have a video up. So I'm up till 9 or 10, maybe 11, making the video, editing the video, posting the premiere. So sometimes it's a juggling act. Sometimes it is, you don't sleep when you're supposed to sleep, or you get 5 hours instead of the 8 you wanted. Yeah, 4 hours instead of, there's days. And then there's the Saturday that you couldn't go with your kids swimming because you have to do your stuff. Because this is a job. And if you don't treat it like one, it won't be one.
That's true. And even broadcasting, which can be fun. I think all of us can say that we pretty much enjoy doing that for whatever reason we're doing it. It's still time out of your day. It does take a certain amount of prep work, even something like Stupid O'Clock, despite his denials. If nothing else, he reads newspapers and stuff or does that online thing like the young kids do. But, it's very, you're right. It is a balancing act. Cindy Kep says, can radio be an addiction? Depends on the frequency. And Skunk Rocker is here, one of the stars of Stupid O'Clock. Joe, I got the tables. I'll get them to you tomorrow afternoon. Or just drop them in the mail. They'll be fine. And everyone say hello. And this may have been one of the few times that McKayla could not get a word in edgewise.
Watch me go.
Oh, I'm ready for the fight here. And to Ninja Genko, good to see you. And Teresa Dunn says, McKayla, you are awesome. And I seem to be the bomb. I explode a lot, I guess. And Nick's background is moving notes, Carl Witzman. This is not a good omen. And Brett Schurman says, hey, Teresa. Eric Hawkins of the Zombie for World of Oz and also Comic Book Spectrum says, what's going on here? I thought it was supposed to be Steven Seagal on night. I'm sorry,
he's here.
Steven.
I'm just not letting him out of the cage, okay? That's just how it's going.
That's really that. Yeah, and we'll have a tour of that cage.
Night. There, Steven. Everything you need to know about Steven Seagal movies. And Erica Laniak jumping out of a cake. We don't have Erica Laniak, but we do have McKayla, so we're doing pretty good.
Great.
Like of my usual FX standards. These are much more lifted, but
poor JoeDog.
We just like, killed JoeDog. Does anyone know the number to 911?
But we got to keep bouncy here. It's just about staying upbeat and perky. Anyway, what you got?
Oh, I don't know. You said
I don't know.
And I was
I'm blessed. My cups runneth over. It seems to be constant. But that is okay, friends. We need, as we journey, this is too close to a Monday to let the darkness of reality affect anything we're doing, folks. No.
And McKayla's going, when did this become the green room?
The green room goes a little further.
And plus, true. I rant majestically on the green room.
He does.
That's where I come in from my broadcast, having to deal with the stress of broadcasting. And then I say, and then there's just and I see Carl taking notes for his new book on this crazy MFer we shall refer to as NNT for his own, sanity.
Safety?
It's fun.
Yeah.
Safety, sanity. There's no safety in my life. Yes, sir.
Nick, you just reminded me something of a new phrase that I now use.
Yeah. Yes.
The one you've got banned, but he said the proper pronunciations. Brian.
Oh, maternal fornication.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yes. We
See,
keep it
anyone
clean.
can
You learn words here.
Easy. It's being able to swear a massive rant with a small child in the room. So you're just high-lobbing terminology that they'd have to know how to compile to make mean what you have really just said. Ranting while swearing is easy. Ranting without swearing takes finesse.
And you demonstrated it at least one night when I was in Uncle Carl's green room. That was very impressive. I was just sitting here amazed. I felt like if you remember the old JBL speakers commercials with this guy sitting in a lounge chair, and he's got the long hair and he's got the dark glasses, and the force coming out of the speaker is so much it's blowing his hair like it's a 60-mile-an-hour wind. That was Nick. That was Nick who was the speaker. I was the guy in the chair. Where do you think this all went? Anyway, that was the wind in the background, and Nick is the wind under our wings. Cindy kept his boy listening to the radio with his father. Dad, what music did you like growing up? He says, I was a fan of Led Zeppelin. Zeppelin? Who? The son asks. Yeah, the dad responds, I like them too. I got that.
I had a moment where I had to cancel plans because I was on. I said, I'm sorry I was going to meet with you, but I'm going to be on CTP tonight.
Yes.
On what? Well, clever title. I put clever title pending. Well, that doesn't help me. Tell me what the title is. And now I had a choice. Easily clarify or have fun. Want to guess where I went?
Oh, Lord.
Well, clever title pending. Obviously. I know it's a clever title pending. What is it?
And what's on second?
That's the name of the show.
Yes.
What's the name of the show? Clever title pending. Well, quit pending it. You have to tell me the name. I just did. Tell me the name of the show. No. And I'm just like, so my thumbs are sore. But and then I did the same thing with my wife. But we're not going to talk about that because it was shorter, so I didn't die. Anyhow.
That's true.
What was the I've had a couple people actually ping me directly as well as in the chat asking what the theme of tonight is. Now,
I think it's themed from A Summer Place by Percy Faith.
I was going Drowning Pool Bodies, but that's okay too.
That works.
Because there is nothing wrong with me.
That's
anyway.
True. Notice how I can listen with a straight face. Anyway.
And there's 4. Another one bites the dust. Okay. No
I heard the sound of animals beforehand.
Oh, that is not my ceiling fan. I actually muted to check, and the fact that my ceiling fan lives in, like my background, it's not moving. It is shivering in terror, and that is how it should be. Inanimate objects should fear my wrath, for I am a vast and terrible human being. But
When Cindy Kemp says, "What do you call an average radio?" Stereotypical.
Tune in for more.
And let's see. And Jessica Johnson of Heroes for Kids out of Perryville, Missouri. Mwah, glad to see you. Check out their Facebook page, Heroes for Kids Perryville Mo. Also, Heroes for Kids Con. It's a great event happening again next July. And Archie A. Cunningham, how you be, brother? Good to see you, man. Am I going to see you at Kokomo Con? By the way, Kokomo Con is coming up this coming Saturday with McKayla Jade and myself, along with Kathy Jackson and Andy Shaggy Cordy, Mark Lemieux, and several other amazing creators. And we hope, Archie, you're one of them. And Cindy Cap, why radio lovers love to play hide and seek? Because radio or not, here I come. And check out Heroes for Kids. It's the convention. It is a group of great cosplayers. Check them out and bring them to your convention. They have Facebook pages for each. Andy Bob, hi Brian and everyone. How are all of you? Hope all is well. We are doing great. Glad to have you here, Andy. And I told you. And Donna Carlene says, and a cryptid. Don't forget about that for Nick. And he's denying it. And Cindy Kemp says, what font does Alphabet Soup use? Times New Ramen. And
but only for flavor text.
There we oh, very good, Nick. Very good. And Cindy Kemp says, I've always been told that I have a face for radio and a singing voice for silent movies. And we finally got Dan Hollifield to blush. What do you call Bruce Lee pulling a radio flyer? Enter the wagon.
Oh,
she's needing some therapy today. I can tell she needs some joke therapy.
That's okay.
Yeah, keep them coming, Cindy. We love you. And a man walks into a radio store. He then says, wow, there are so many stereotypes. And she used to tell a joke about radios, but its reception was always poor. And Carl Witzman is stunned. McKayla has opinions. Who knew?
I know, right? Like, I never talk about my opinions.
I know. You're so shy and retiring.
Sometimes.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, but to me, I think McKayla has great opinions.
Yeah?
Yes, indeed.
Is that what we're calling him now?
Yeah.
I was waiting for somebody else to go down that road. No,
wait. No. McKayla's like the news. She brings truth and facts. Anyway.
That's right.
That's why
I love her. Two big reasons why I love her: her sparkling wit and her smile. But anyway, and Skunk Rocker says, "Are you saying JoeDog isn't creative?" Not hardly. Joe is very creative. We are all creative in our each individual ways. Joe, check out Stupid O'Clock. This man is hilarious. He cracks me up constantly. You should see what this guy can do with inflatable flamingos.
But only on his OnlyFans with a $5 a month subscription. You too can find out what JoeDog does with his flamingos. OnlyFans.
The inflatable flamingo story is terrifying.
Is that for the after hours here?
No, it's. I mean, it's a wonder I'm still alive after that prank.
Uh-oh.
Is this something we need to hear? He said, hoping yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Before I took over Halicon, the former director and his wife. Well, for Halicon, I turned into him as my cosplay. I cosplayed the director and didn't tell him I was going to do it.
Oh, no.
And did it behind his back while everybody was watching. And everybody said, yeah. Now you got to get Mickey. And I went, oh, no. Okay. Well, Mickey had told me she despises flamingos. So out during my yard sale and thing, I find this box of inflatable flamingos. I said, how many are in here? She said, they did it for my 40th birthday.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Well, I said, how much? She says, I'll take $1 for the whole box. Oh, this is it.
Oh, hell yes.
Well, come the spring convention called FantasyCon, I went and brought them and little air compressor to inflate the flamingos. Now, I'm going to tell you, have you seen the Dollar Tree flamingos, inflatable flamingos?
Yeah.
40 of them. I said, now, how am I going to get them down to Mickey? So I rounded up 20 people. I said, I need you to come up to my room. I got something I need you to do for me. Gave every one of them two. Mickey sitting in the hotel lobby on the little sofa they had, holding court with all her friends. And the line they were supposed to say when they walked up and handed to her is, oh my God, Mickey, I am so sorry. Don't kill me. JoeDog made me do it. There is a picture of her sitting on the couch, buried in flamingos, and all you can see is her face. And needless to say, I was in fear for my life for the next 2 years.
That seems reasonable.
That.
Yeah. So just everybody know, coming to Halicon, there is a few pranks being planned this year.
Uh-oh.
Oh, dear. Just remember, Cookie doesn't have much of a sense of humor in that regard. She still has one good arm.
Well, here's the thing, Brian. I only pick on people that I know and like.
I'm screwed. I'm screwed.
I'm going to get Cookie a whip before y'all go down there.
That might not be a bad thing. Well, that might not be a bad thing anyway. But anyway,
and moving on to the next.
Yeah, and the thought that terrifies him, Skunk. Oh my God, yeah. And
there's next friend.
There's the puppet master again.
You scare me, Joe. I love you, man, but you scare me.
And he's going to ask you to be the guest next year. Sarah says, hello, watching in bed. Fever is back. Sarah just got her second COVID shot. So it will pass, sweetheart. It will pass. All right.
The sentence is breaking my mind, dearie. But I am so sorry that you are so hot in bed right now.
Oh, Joe's out. Joe's like, no, gone.
Just how fast can Nick get himself canceled on Clever Title Pending this week? Yeah. We'll see. But
and RG Westerman's watching us right now, going, "Whew!" Anyway, that was close.
That's okay. More broadcast for me.
Yeah, City Cap 9 Dingoes Association. That's right. Check out the Dingoes podcast, the Dastardly Dingoes podcast, because
there are 7 more of them.
9 dingoes. They've got 3.
Okay. There's only 6 more dingoes out there in the waiting. This is. I have a son. He's not a baby anymore, but please don't eat him. Dingoes, don't eat my baby. Don't eat my baby, dingo.
Don't. Just don't coat him in butter. Then he's fine. They love butter. And Sarah says it just means it's doing its job. That's right. That's why we're here.
Absolutely.
We're being a pain, and so. And let's see here. Yeah, I see the one you. I see the one you said. I found a way to get rid of them. Anyway, and ninjas disappear ambivalently. Oh wow! And Sarah said, "Oh Lord, don't look at my grammar. It's awful." What? Huh?
What happened? Somebody abducted Nick.
Those dang space aliens.
Ninjas disappear ambivalently, and I've multi-classed over the years, so sure. Anyhow, go on. Yeah. You only get 3 or 4 words in edgewise before my horrendous personality overpowers my shirt. And just, I dress this now.
Let's see what we can do about that. Who can talk about
Okay, let's go! And no, that was in exactly 4 sentences. Anyhow, let's get rocking, talking, and dropping things down. Nobody else. Hi, Brian. How are you and everybody? We're all doing well, and Michaela's doing fine because she can only be fine. She has no choice in the matter. No.
Or do I?
She's in charge. That's why.
I'm terrified.
What is tonight's topics? I have the derps. So do we.
Pretty much.
We were talking about broadcasting for a moment.
The topic was supposed to be the root of our creativity and where it comes from. The secret is we are all lunatics. By channeling our insanity, I mean, seriously, I don't just have mere schizophrenia of other personalities. I'm a DM. I do that for breakfast. But I have layers of worlds that I can hop in and out of. This, it's like playing video games. I do it so I have more lives. And since I'm walking around all these stories no one else is using, I got to write them down or they'll die when I do. And I don't want to be a genocide of ideas. So I have to get them out so the characters don't die when I get hit by a sea truck or whatever. It really is just...
That's what we do.
Yeah, no, that's a very good way to look at it. That if we don't tell, in fact, one thing I've written recently: if I don't tell the story, who will?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
the NSA is
Les Brown is the first one I heard say that. Les Brown does the motivational videos.
He's amazing.
He is, and that's one thing he says. Can you imagine getting to your grave or getting to your deathbed, and there's all your ideas standing around you saying it was up to you to bring us to life, to give us life, and you didn't. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That's not happening to me. No way.
No, me either. I hear
half of my ideas are fighting my other ideas in a massive clash for dominance, and the internal world is at stake. It's great. It really is. It's glorious.
Just write up the incident report. It's fine.
Yeah. You're walking down. Exactly. You're walking down the street, and one set of ideas is, what you could do with some eggs right now? No, Nick. No, that's not a good idea. We'll write a book. We'll do that. Can we do that?
Write the book.
Not
yes.
My creativity will give me better ideas, and then I turn into JoeDog.
And some of those are illegal and will get you in jail. So write them down.
Yeah,
Yes.
if I get caught, oh my gosh, you have no faith in my criminal capabilities. Oh,
Write them down. Write them down so you can have the incriminating evidence when you really do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Well, they would need help. Oh god, this just turned into like the Blacklist, the prequel
Lord.
years. Well, I had all these ideas and got bored drinking way too much caffeine with a bunch of authors and creative types. It's like, you know what? Let's go reshape the world. Do I look like a man?
If only it were that easy.
If only. Yeah, and I'm seeing
totally
my
is.
ideas. Yeah.
Okay, that one I gotta comment on. If only it were that easy. All of us are authors and creators. All of us have seen the time travel trope. Oh, can you feel the ramp building up and back? But in every time travel trope, don't step on a butterfly. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't interact. You'll change the timeline. And then they go back to normal life where my decisions don't matter. What the? You are time traveling every moment. That means if you want to reshape the future, just do it. Plant the tree. Tell the story, make the thing. If it fails, who cares? The world's full of failure, and everybody who doesn't try, they're failures. Hi, I'm sorry your cowardice makes you suffer. That's okay. Nut up or shut up. But that being said, guys, you got that story, write it. If nobody likes it, you wrote it. It isn't necessarily in the marketability or the response. Art will happen either way, so just do it. They want to appreciate you while you're alive till someone else can make money off of it. So just put it out there and do what you can. I'm sorry, this rant was brought to you by Nick Tockert. And his opinions may or may not be held capable or in agreement with Nick Tockert, because I prefer not to know what it is I'm thinking at any given point, so please don't tell me.
Yeah, I was about to say that I view my ideas are standing in line like a Studio 54 from the 80s, and they're right behind the rope and everything, just patiently waiting their turn to be admitted. But there is my wife, Cookie, at the head of it, who's the bouncer going, you, Volcana, you, Aquatic, to the front, and we don't listen. Cindy Kep goes 5 books. Here's her choices. Matthew Henry's commentary on the whole Bible. Good choice. Les Miserables. Number 3 is Chet Gecko Omnibus. 4 is How to Survive in Any Environment. And 5, the Complete Compendium of Rising Tide members books. I like that a lot.
That's why we love Cindy.
Exactly. And my 5th one was Animal Eye. That's it, by Cindy Kep. I remember CKOEPP.com. Check out her website once it's fixed. They're supposed to contact her. And Johnny Cage, JP7 says, my face is too pretty. I don't want any stuff to eat it. We'll protect you. I promise.
Johnny Cage, you're a vampire. You know it. And I'm not arguing. He takes it as a compliment. Johnny Cage's method is I eat your face before you eat mine. And I respect that. That's at least proactive. He's one of my gamers from the... he's actually not one of my gamers. I just made an NPC of him for his comments so much that I forget he's not actually in the game. Because let's break the fourth wall. I believe the fourth wall is meant to be shattered, sculpted into little tchotchkes, and sold off to the highest bidder. Sorry.
Okay. All right, moving on. And I've never read or seen Les Mis yet. Heard the version with Hugh Jackman is fantastic, just fantastic. The music is beautiful. But what can you say about a story that translates to the miserable? Yes, I took high school French. And Anthony Bavot also hoped that they get it fixed. So do we all. And Johnny Cage, JP7 says, we can be happy about how much punishment this book can endure. There is a quote for you all.
Yes.
And really sad, no one here said the Anarchist Cookbook or booby traps and improvised anti-personnel devices. My NSA agent is just taking a long pull from the bottle again. And it says, thanks to the skunk writer, or no tech hacking, or steal this computer book, or how to make enemies and offend people.
I
gotta call
healing
a timeout.
tester. Does that work?
Time out?
I got to call a timeout. I just had to hide a user from the YouTube channel.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. Good. Thank you, Joe.
It's just after Dan Hollifield's comment to Cindy Kep.
All right.
I saw that.
It's no longer available.
Oh, darn. Thanks, JoeDog. You're the best. You're awesome.
Yep.
And let's see here. No, Skunk, I could have put Steal This Book. I think I still have a copy of it by Abby Hoffman.
Can I see that list again? I just want to double check. Okay, the first one has been edited since the late 90s, so there are a couple key ingredients that have been switched. The second one is put out by the CIA. You can download it as a PDF. No Tech Hack is actually pretty good.
You didn't hear that here.
It's put out by the CIA. I mean, like, you can literally download it. They want to know who has it. Author research, you know? Steal This Computer Book is a great read, and why would I am not a wizard of making enemies of offending people. I'm a sorcerer, friend. It comes naturally. The magic of what rolls right off of my very being. I am in line with the... So yeah, good list, but it needs a series of caveats.
Yeah. So, and remember, if you do download it from the CIA, we've never heard of you, and you've never heard of us. And Cindy Cap goes, Anthony, I haven't seen the Hugh Jackman one, saw the Liam Neeson one. I hope they fix that page too, since they caused the trouble. Oh my goodness, that's not good. Anthony Bavot says, number 1, Animal Farm, Interview with the Vampire, Misery, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. That should have been on my list. And Plato's Allegory of the Cave. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And everyone's saying hello. And Sanity says, Dan Hallfield, I think I remember that. Gave it up for Lent, as I recall. How many years ago? And Cindy Kemp enjoyed the Liam Neeson one, but she missed the music. And let's see, and Castle on a Cloud, that is beautiful. And Jessica Johnson says, Heroes for Kids has been very blessed with the hotel that works with us for Heroes for Kids Comic-Con. They have been awesome working with us. Excellent. And Sarah's back, went downstairs when Mom texted me that a lady from church brought her some pot. Wait a minute. That doesn't go on in that town. I took a look at it. It's a healing salve after examining it for her. Oh, okay. Okay. First the CIA, now the DEA. Anyway, let's see.
We get enough letters we can write with just the acronyms we're handed. Really, it's an author education exercise. You have to get the alphabet in to use it. It makes you appreciate your terms.
There you go. Big Bird would be proud of you. And Scott Carker says, JoeDog, on advice of my counsel, I plead the fifth. In other words, to quote Sergeant Schultz, I know nothing.
Bunch of jolly jokers.
Oh, I know. And Sarah thought that Nick was trying to do an armpit fart a minute ago. And Johnny Cage JP7 goes, filter? What filter? Nick doesn't know what that is. It's something you put in the car to keep your oil
that is not true. That is not true. Much like Brian's allegory of Cookie the Bouncer for his ideas. Yes. There is a filter that blocks what's going on in my mind and that which comes out of my mouth. However, it's staffed by retired Mexican federales who are easily bribed or distracted. So, it doesn't take much to just get some stuff under it. That's okay. So, see, this is actually filtered. Ask the folks in the green room. Yeah. Wow. That was so bad a remark. It blurred Michaela's screen, folks. Behold the power. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know what a filter is. It keeps your coffee from getting
Not
too many
crunchy.
Grounds in it. Yeah, it keeps it from getting crunchy. And Carl Witzman says the Green Room is proud to provide such a service. And let's see, here we go. And Anthony Bavot says, Michaela, JoeDog, and Nick, you guys are fantastic. And Brian, as always, is damned wonderful.
Oh,
thank you so much. You're so sweet. And Anthony and Cindy are comparing notes on Les Mis, and that was Memorex, Brian. Oh, was it? I thought it was GB. Never. I will concede to your better knowledge. And
I think Skunk is correct on that one. I actually have to agree with him.
That could be. I just remember Memorex from Ella Fitzgerald and Shattering the Glasses. But I am willing to accept that I misspoke. Thank you. And is it live or is it Memorex? And Fever is breaking again. Yay! Hurrah! And see, I told you, it's just like flipping a switch. And Anthony Bavot says, Nick, it's fantastic the way you help survivors of abuse and trauma with your martial arts.
All jokes aside, that's my calling. That's actually why I do what I do. Be the person you wish you knew.
Exactly. And he's also an advocate against rape and sexual assault. Good man.
Awesome.
Man.
Good work on you.
Yeah, and Sarah was thinking the same thing about who's on first. And yes, the 10,000 watt tango. That's right, Dan. Dan's also a musician. Get that. Put up a link to your where you can get that wonderful music that was inspired by some guy in a fez. And Scott Cracker said, I was thinking the theme was two guys and a girl in a pizza place. Pizza's good. And theme music for tonight or the next Imposter Syndrome show, Red Unstoppable. There we go. And Sarah loves the color of the wall behind you, McKayla.
Would you believe me if I told you it's called Castle Grayskull? Right. So I saw the name of the color and I was like, oh, that has to be.
Sorry, right out of your wrong sword. I need something with a little heft. Okay. By the power of McKayla's wall.
There we go.
I can make a Skeletor joke, but I'll get bounced, so I won't.
Got a long way to go. Marshall Lewis, glad you're here. And so did she pop all the flamingos, asks Sarah.
No. They deflated them all and then hung them on my camper while I had gone to work.
You got to be careful. A flock of flamingos can strip a T-Rex to bone in 3 seconds. I've seen it.
Only you would know that fact.
But now, did you know what a flock of flamingos is called?
A good start.
Flamboyant.
I love that. I absolutely love that because, I'm suddenly getting the urge to wear pastels and drive cigar boats very quickly for no apparent reason with Don Johnson.
That is another wonderful piece of brain matter that I've got that could hold the cure for humanity.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a cure for humanity, but
filled up with useless trivia about what you call a flock of flamingos.
I am so glad that Sherlock Holmes would be so offended by the contents of our minds.
You think?
Oh yeah, it's clear. I only know what I absolutely need to know. The Earth's going around the sun. I don't need to know that, so I'll try to forget it. I'm like, what? I can still name a bunch of dinosaurs, random Pokemon, and a couple jingles from companies that don't exist anymore. Why would I clean out my mind? I am a mental hoarder, and as an author, I then deep dive through it and pull out gems of WTF from the detritus of nearly 40 years of paying way too much attention to everything I'm not supposed to.
And Molly Dales is checking in, listening as I close down the lumber thing. Back to the State Fair tomorrow. And we're glad you showed up. Thank you very much. And I agree with Anthony. Hope you feel better soon, Sarah. And here we go. A few days ago, Cookie was hot in my bed, and I'm not joking. It is true. And Michaela, notice how we're moving on. Michaela says, I cosplay Catwoman. I have several whips that Cookie can choose from. Thanks, girls.
Absolutely perfect.
Thanks. Thanks so much.
You'll enjoy it. Shut up.
Well, yeah, it saves me $20. Anyway, and which
Go
Muppet
for
would be the best?
Whips do a little more damage. You don't want lasting damage. You want pain infliction. So riding crop is probably more effective in the limited quarters that you have for maximize pow. Because if you whip, it may actually last.
The crop can actually break skin if done wrong. So
oh, absolutely, it's all about. It's just like blade alignment, but backwards. You need to hit with the flat. Stop just before the target, so you get that little flick at the end for maximize damage.
Yes.
Weapons master. I say sword master, but I can teach just about how to make anything go that inflicts harm on people. Hi, how you doing? Incidentally, if you're ever using ropes, double them up, leave a finger worth of space so you don't cut off circulation, and fit with the contours of whomever you're tying up for security or entertainment.
Purposes, yeah.
Well, welcome to Clever Title Pending After Dark.
I'm an author. I can search anything. All I have to do is put in brackets FBI, I am an author. You do that, and then Google recognizes that you're not actually, degenerate. You're just writing for degenerates. I love my audience.
Hey, see, that's one thing we're constantly asked. Who is your audience? And Nick has a handle on his.
Oh, absolutely. Know what you're about, know what your audience is about, and you will eventually make pennies on the dollar for the hours of effort you put in.
Yes. That's true. But remember, if you're willing to work for a little less every year, you could be employed the rest of your life. But anyway, is she here? JoeDog, is she here?
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Joe. It's been nice knowing you. But anyway, but no, it reminds me of when I used to do theatrical. I do combat training in theater, and we had a thing. Well, it's La Cage aux Folles, and a couple people had to have some whips, and I taught them how to crack them, the Dollar Tree type or the Spirit Halloween, so you make a noise. And they're like, "Well, I know how to do it." And I'm like, "No, hold away from your body. I don't want to. I know how to do this." And I go, "Okay, fine. I accept no responsibility." And you hear crack, crack, crack. Ah!
The safe word is rutabaga. That's rutabaga.
My safe my safe word is fast. Anyway, but what Muppet would be the best broadcaster? Asks Cindy Cap.
Brian Rodman.
Beaker.
Beaker, definitely. And though BKM did get to see my rocket launching AC. That's true. I got to hear the thing take the air conditioner. If you've ever heard Sarah's air conditioner. Yeah,
I went Armored Core. Don't mind me. Too much time. She
took me up to her bedroom. What was I to do? Anyway, no wonder I fit in so well with this crowd, says Dan Hallfield. And let's see, here we go. And with my book, says Sarah, freaking nature stole from my ideas several times in the same book. Finally, I put the wretched thing down. Good for you. And Amanda.
Nature? She put down nature? No wonder we have wild thoughts. Now, Sarah, what have I told you about killing, massive entities embodying, elemental forces? Replace them with yourself, dearie. Don't lose the Godhead power. Ingest and upgrade. Reuse, recycle, reanimate.
And nut up or shut up. Yep, that's the theme for tonight. Now you wonder what the theme was? Now you know it's nut up or shut up, right? Right. And Cindy Cap says, if your favorite Muppet had a broadcast, what would the topic be?
Oh, okay.
Mana.
Yeah.
Mana.
What? Stop that! That's like shaving a haircut for me. I am not a dude. Don't put that evil on me. Okay.
Well, I know who my favorite Muppet is, and he only likes one thing. Oh, is that a jar of them over there? So, anyway, let's see. And thank you for I think JoeDog, you caught another one. Thank you, sir. And everyone's commenting. Appreciate it. And let's see.
We just
Scott
need
Carter
a kill
says
count for JoeDog.
JoeDog's racking up the kills tonight, and we've got him. We've got him today. Well, Nick, I have a paperback copy of FM 531 that I bought in a surplus bookstore just outside of Winchester.
Nice. Very well done. I'm not gonna say you're the only one.
Oh, and let's see. Oh, there she is.
I'm sorry, Madam
Okay.
Umbridge. I'm not supposed to tell a lie.
There we go. Okay, we're almost there. And yay for fever breaks. Yay. And the hotel Holocon works with is wonderful, says Donna Carly. I agree. I talked to him one day and get my reservation. It was very cool. And I should check, says Skullcracker, and see when it was printed because I don't know how old it is. I do know I do have some great line drawings of claymores, and I don't mean swords. And Sarah says, I don't think a tranquilizer for a rhino would take Nick down a notch, which isn't a compliment, but hilarious.
Okay. Which isn't a compliment. Look at that Freudian slip Brian just dropped, which isn't a complaint, but hilarious. Nice, Brian.
Oh, it isn't a
did you see that knee come out of orbit? It isn't a compliment. Bam! Oh, wait, it is. Oops, sorry. Oh,
okay. I own it. My Freudian slip is showing. And Castle Grayskull, oh, hell yes. And Cindy kept going to get her question in here, and somebody's going to answer it. If your favorite character ran a broadcast, what would the theme song be? Probably subject to a copyright claim.
This one's easy.
Yes.
The Leroy Jethro Gibbs Show, Bad to the Bone.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yep.
And I'm thinking Bruce Wayne's would be me. Me. So, let's see. And Sarah says it's a rocket name for a paint color, and a group of baboons is called a congress.
Absolutely. I will not back that one.
That is insulting, and it is not right, and it is oppressive. How dare they insult baboons that way? Baboons actually achieve keeping each other fed and mutual defense.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same as the other one. And Cindy Kemp says a group of owls is a parliament. I knew that from reading Batman. And Amy Hale says hello. Amy has been under the weather, the poor girl. And JoeDog brought something here that he thought would cheer you up.
Oh.
Let's see.
I'm sorry, Amy. I had nothing to do with that.
Neither did I.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought about it. This shark was brought to you by the Hail Pail by Ronco. The Hail Pail, perfectly made for helping you keep your broadcasts going. Come buy one Hail Pail, and we'll throw a free podcaster in. No charge. Only 39 payments of $29.99.95. Not eligible in this plane of existence. Back to you, Brian.
I don't want it now. Anyway, a group of cats is a clouder or a glaring. And hey there, Amy Hill. Hope you and Hubs are feeling better and doing better, slow and sure. That's good to see there. And let's see here. Let's see. And Nick knows too much about this topic on whips. It's impossible to know too much about whips, right? And right?
Maybe.
Okay, thank you. And there you go. Carl Whitson thought it was off the rails before the. Yeah, exactly. And Mechanica Free Comic Book, excellent, good to see. And
Mechanica is freaking amazing. That's actually one of my favorite, larger scale semi-indie titles. Mechanica's brilliant. Mine all got messed up in the flood. Yes, get the trade paper back. You will totally paper black. Yeah, there's a lot of black. Yeah, I actually got a different version of that from many moons ago from Heroes Haven in Michigan City, which though I'm over 100 miles away, I will still shout out as one of the best comic and game shops out there ever. You'll also find an original print of the Big Stompy Robots back when I was hand collating it out on their shelves, because that was actually where I designed the game. So yeah, read that book. I don't get money from that unless they want to pay me, at which please. I have a PayPal.
Comic Book Spectrum can use a sponsor. Just saying.
That
was one of the free comic book day choices this year. So, and Dan Hollifield says a group of creatives is called a hilarity. I would add to that. And let's see. No, we're not.
I thought it was called a felony in most countries. Oh, I'm sorry.
It depends on the county. And this show is turning out just the way I thought it would. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I have to step up my game then. Hold on. I'm more problems.
How dare you accuse Nick of being predictable? And Scott Crocker says, my favorite character having a broadcast would have to be, did you ever see a dream walking? I think Freddy Krueger would be classy like that. I like that.
For some, Freddy in an Armani suit, impersonating the world's most interesting man, just flashed through my mind, and I would just kind of love seeing him with a wine glass and like the blades just sticking out, being very urbane, because Robert Englund is a freaking master of the art. I would love now I just want to see like Classy Freddy just being chill and randomly bisecting people, while talking about table manners. I think that would just...
Yeah. And Sarah's going to look for the Lady Mechanica trade back. I think there's more than one. I think there's like about half a dozen or so.
Ooh.
So definitely worth looking for. So anyway, next question.
One thing. If you can find it, it was a webcomic called Lady Saber and the Ineffable Ether. If you like Lady Mechanica, look that up. It was one... I'm a big of the web comic generation because I was too broke to buy comics. So, look that up. Sarah, you should be able to look at it on your phone. It's back in that era before Facebook dominated the interwebs. And things called web pages existed that you had to remember.
Don't say web pages too loudly around her right now. She's a little sensitive, I think. And trivial detail from Cindy: Mars has the tallest mountain in the solar system.
Tallest known mountain in the solar system.
No, that's true. There are still some of the planets we cannot pierce their atmosphere, correct?
Yep.
Like Venus and maybe Jupiter, am I correct?
Venus and some of the moons on around Jupiter.
That's true. That's true. And a trivial detail from Cindy Cap: Phobos is gradually spiraling into Mars, while Deimos is gradually spiraling away.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Cool.
That instantly saddens me for some reason. Like, it sounds stupid, but my brain went, that is just like a heartbreaking celestial love story where two lovers orbiting one planet. This is my mind, folks. Like, I'm literally getting misty-eyed over these two moons destined to be separated and scattered across the cosmos. Welcome to the wonderful world of creator, folks.
One belief is Phobos coming in actually pulled Deimos out, which changed the atmosphere on Mars.
Oh,
that homewrecker!
Yeah.
So
that's one of the theories
broke
that
up Mars and Deimos. Oh my gosh!
Homewrecker.
Now on Maury, you are not the moon. Anyhow.
Oh my God! Who else is having potential stories flash through their mind right now? Right?
Yeah.
This is why creatives need coffee and Denny's at all times to be accessible.
All times, yes, Denny's. We need a good Denny's around here. We've
got Denny's here in Lafayette.
We can't keep a Denny's in this town. Waffle House runs them out.
Yeah. I admit I would kill to have a good Waffle House in here in this area. I love Waffle House.
I don't
Waffle House either.
Of course, I've changed the subject again, but I don't care what Waffle House you go to. Anywhere in the areas that there's a Waffle House, the scrambled eggs and cheese tastes the exact same. Delicious.
Yep. That's true. That's true. Although there are some McDonald's where there are differences in flavors.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen it from one side of town to the other.
Yeah. Yeah. And trivial detail: Venus has a retrograde orbit. That's right. And our own moon is gradually spiraling away. At least it's not sun departure. That worked weirdly for Captain Koenig. Now, see, I get the reference. Michaela, did you? You look skeptical. It's from an old TV series called Space 1999. Where there was like a stockpile of nukes on the moon. And in 1999, they went off and sent the moon flying across the galaxy, where they encountered strange new civilizations and such.
And big eyebrowed telepaths who shapeshift. But
right.
I'm sorry, she said Captain Koenig, and I just went to Albert Bester from Babylon 5, and it went to very dark places. Sorry, just keep rolling.
Moving on.
I'm trying to figure out how Chekhov made Captain.
His latent telepathy manifested, and he crushed the others beneath his iron fist.
Yeah, and Dan Holyfield just noticed that our broadcast is spiraling somewhere. Don't know where, but he likes it. And let's see.
Likes it.
That's right. The things we do to keep our audience happy. Sarah says, "Dear Lord, I'm going to pay yet another electric bill for my comic shop. I'm still reading what I've already bought. Taps the comic book vein. Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world." And wrong. Sorry, Commander Koenig. That's right. And I always pronounce it Koenig because that used to be my grandmother's doctor's name. So, and Carl Winston said, "This is like a green room without booze. I hope this doesn't catch on. We don't need competition." Well, we could have like a semi-clean version of the green room one night. And don't worry, Carl. They don't have us and cigars, so we're fine. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I just wanted to remind everyone who's ever seen me on the green room, I've never had any alcohol in my life. Every bizarre, horrific thing I've said has been done stone sober.
Which makes it all the more terrifying. And remember, you can only see the green room if you're a member of Uncle Carl's secret humor page.
Not so secret humor group.
It's a terribly kept secret. And if you want to get in there, chances are you don't qualify, because if you can be offended, you don't belong there. Lord knows you've got to have a lack of an ability to be offended.
I got a community standard slap in the green room.
How? Who narked?
I don't know.
Look, I just want to remind people that shank is one of my favorite words because it is both a noun and a verb, and I understand the application of both. So, to shank, it is a verb. Where is my shank? I'll find it by the next green room if I find out who's, narking on folks. Stitches get stitches.
That's right. That's right. And Sarah's going to write down what she wants for later. And Scott Crocker says, Nick, there are multiple times in the Nightmare franchise, and including media other than the films, that Fred does indeed get pretty classy.
That's why I'm mentioning it. He's an incredible actor. Yes.
He really is. He really is. And Owl's eyeballs don't move in the socket, says Cindy Cap, CKOEPP.com.
That's why they moved their head.
Exactly. And they're the ones that discovered how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. And Donna, Carly, Nick, probably a good thing you weren't in the green room last week. There was a pretty mouthy drunk in there.
I was not green room compatible last week.
Oh dear. And no offense taken, Sarah's. I haven't been in there in a while either, and I don't know how JoeDog got dinged, and I never do. I don't think JoeDog knows how he gets dinged. He's had some.
Does anybody know?
Well, you see, Zuck hates Elon, right? Now, bear with me, and it's becoming a nerd gang thing, kind of Bloods and Crips, where you got Bezos and you got Zuck. And you got Elon. Now, Bezos and Elon are doing things with their lives, and Zuck is just overlooming. Because he's the kind of guy who likes to watch but not participate. Not my place to judge. Kinks exist in all wires.
We don't kink shame here.
Absolutely. But you see, JoeDog has come out way too far on Team Muskie. So, Zuck's like, no. Somehow Musk can retain being a millionaire and being human, something Zuck hasn't really had luck with. So, there you go. You've been flying your
colors. A couple of good points there. And also it's the accursed algorithms, which, by the way, I've been waiting to do this all hour. I'm testing a theory here. How to grow your YouTube channel. Okay, thank you. I'll let you know if that works.
Wait, folks. On 3. How to grow your YouTube channel.
Yeah, see? It's all algorithms. I'll explain later.
I actually found that by mentioning 2 and A and what that represents, I instantly got all my videos reviewed.
Oh, wow.
Because my videos are lumped in with that group now, simply because of some comments that came by. So, yeah. I how to grow that YouTube channel. Grow it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Algorithms are interesting.
Well,
yes, they are.
If anybody had watched the Clinton inauguration balls, they should know Al Gore has no rhythm.
That's true. That is true.
I am so sorry because the answer to what you said, all I thought was Monica Lewinsky when you said the Clinton inauguration ball. I am so sorry. Like, that level of honest Nick should not be allowed to exist. See, this is why I don't do unprepped. Like, I have to put warning circles between my personality and the internet every week, and I don't have them recharged by Tuesdays.
And here we sit. And Cindy Cap says, a girl says she remembers me from the vegetarian convention, but I swear I've never her before.
Never met her before. Yeah.
Yeah, never met her before. Sorry. And she's going to this year's Fibonacci convention. It'll be as big as the last two together.
Oh, he who laughs like slowest.
He who laughs didn't get it. Anyway.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Somebody's
So
going to
anyway,
that one to me. I'm sorry.
So, folks, we still have some time if you've got some questions, and boy, howdy, you should have some questions by now.
I hope there are questions. I've derailed the derail to the point where, like, now around the Halloween Christmas tree, but that's okay too. You know?
Are you kidding? This train's took a dirt road.
Dang! I don't know who
Yeah.
was supposed to. I'm not going to say that. I caught myself. I didn't say that. But
Yeah, and Cindy Cap says, I just drove in from a Transformers convention, and boy, are my arms tires. And Dan Hollifield says, physics jokes. I got that reference, see? One day I'll get it and I'll just laugh. Anyway, oh, so how are you guys growing your YouTube channels? How you doing it?
you know what? That
I put on Facebook that I'm trying to kick Brian's butt.
Everyone hates me.
I thought it
But
was
will
me.
you go eat worms? Now,
Michaela's freezing up there. Sorry. We'll get back to you, Michaela.
We've used all our bandwidth.
Yeah.
my personality is enough to dissolve most people's bandwidth limitations. It's okay. But if not that, my wardrobe. But no. Growing, my channel has been pretty much on a consistent growth, and all reality consistency. Be on at the same time every time for at least one show. Whatever your thing is, stick to it. And one of the best things you can do is avoid, I don't want to say politics, but like, unless your show is about something really political, like if you're trying to be the next Stephen Colbert, lay your line down and run it. That's great. But other than that, leave it out. I'm not saying it's not important to have those discussions unless it overlaps what you're doing. But other than that, I hate to say stay in your lane, but it really does help you grow because people don't get, if you start siding one side, you're going to get pushed back from the other. And make quality. There are a lot of people who be like, if you use this chain or you use this scheme or, you chase whatever, you'll never catch the trend. The trend is always ahead of you. So by the time you're reaching to catch up with the trend, whatever, everybody's doing this kind of video. You've missed it. Do your thing. At some point, you'll be a trend. And that what happens is it's sort of like the wave breaks, it lifts you up and you're a little higher. And every time you happen to coincide with something that trends, it will bump you up organically. So like I get bumps whenever there's, aside from what I do here broadcasting with you guys, I get bumps whenever there's a new sword style movie. Like I'm excited about the Witcher stuff. Now, if I chose to, I could get a bump by doing response videos, because every time I felt necessary to do a response video to somebody bigger, I get a huge bump for it. But that feels disingenuous. It's the whole don't do something like that unless you feel it's important. Like I've talked to people who wear I have to respond to this because it's genuinely a safety issue. Or something, it's literally misinforming someone, or worse, denying somebody's entry into the sphere where I feel I have some level of expertise. At that point, I'll come on and be like, dude, normally Happy Fluffy Nick is here, but I'm going to bust some heads tonight. And then, but I'm sorry, you guys go on. If we're answering the question, that's kind of how I do it. Everything I do is a gestalt building on I have a wide, shallow base. So I have artwork that brings me people, gaming that brings me people. And what you want is everything you do weaves back into everything you're already doing. And then you get a slow, steady, sustainable build instead of that spike where people will be interested because you said something and then they'll unsubscribe later because it's not,
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm trying to do is my Tidbits and Scribbles. I'm trying to explain to the new kids it's okay to do it your way. And I'm going to stick with that. Like, look, this works for me, but it doesn't have to. Match it together. Works for you. Great. Throw it out. Use somebody else's.
Very good. I got most of that. JoeDog, how about you?
Me, I don't know if I could ever grow a following to my show because people don't understand my show. The people that follow my show understand it. I've gotten so many messages. Why can't you guys stick on a topic?
That's the whole point of the show, almost.
That's the whole point of the show.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I was watching one of JoeDog's Stupid O'Clocks, and was in it's the time I've got Xander asleep or whatever. I'm going to hop on, watch a show. Hey, can you hop on? I'm watching the count. And I hop on, and the viewer drops one and goes. And he had like 6 viewers one night. And 3 of us hopped on the show because the people were leaving. And 3 of the viewers went away. And it's just like, oh, that hurts. I feel so bad. I don't know how to respond to that,
It's basically friends hanging out, chatting after a convention. You never know what, and many times after the show is, how the hell did we get to that point?
Yeah. I like to take every time I watch the show, I'm like every half hour or so, okay, how did we get where we are now?
Yeah,
that's almost like the gift that keeps on giving is you try to backtrack how you got to where you are on the show, which I think is why the show works. It's so damn well.
Seriously, earlier I said, the hours of prep before the show, we have no clue what we're going to talk about when Lewis says, and let's start the show.
Yeah.
The only consistent thing about Stupid O'Clock is Lewis's news.
Yeah.
There's a 5-minute script for a 3-hour show.
Well, I can tell you after tonight, prep does nothing. But anyway, that's what I love about the shows I do. So Cindy Cap also wants to know, how do you survive do well at conventions? Let's see.
I can answer this one.
Let's have it, darn.
Because of what I've seen, I stand up and I talk to people. And I'm not talking like, hey, come buy my book. It's, especially with the cons that I've done that are at a mall, you get all kinds of different people. You get moms, dads, grandmas, you get everybody, right? So I write historical paranormal romance. As soon as I say romance, I love people. I say their thing, and their stuff hit people. So what I've done is you simply talk to people, and you don't have to even say, "Hi, I'm McKayla Jade." You can say, "Oh, I love hers," or "That's a great hat," or "Hey, do you love the Cubs?" Whatever. They turn their head and look at you. They're on a mission. They're going to do something else. Or at a con, they might have come to see somebody else. They're not going to notice you. They have blinders on. You have to make them notice you. And every time I do that, they've never met me before in life, but they come to my table and they at least talk to me. And if I don't sell them a book right then, sign up for my newsletter. You take my card. My book on Kindle Unlimited. But that's when I can talk to people. Don't sit back in your chair, stand up, and frickin' talk to people. I sell every time I do it. Every single time.
There you go. There you go.
Well, with me, standing's a little hard for me, but I sort of bait them in with lifesavers on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then start, talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
And, if they really sound interested, then I stand up and talk to them. I'm not being rude, being anything by sitting there. I can't stand very long.
And that's the caveat that in my other video that I made, I said, if you can't, at least be personable. At least say something. Don't just watch them walk by. Don't be coloring in your color book. I've seen a lot of people at craft shows in particular. They will knit something, or they will do their art, or they will do. And it's fine if you're doing it as a demonstration, and you're like, hey, come watch me do this. Watch, I'll show you how. It's another thing if you're doing it in a corner by yourself, you're into yourself. People see that as okay, they won't bother you. Also bother your
And one thing, as a, from the con director side, I've learned a lot of the vendors are very introverted.
Mm-hmm.
And, they want to sell something to you, and it's nothing like watching two introverts try to interact with each other on a business transaction.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Brian, you've seen it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's true. It's painful to watch. It really is.
It is. The guy wants to sell a book, but he doesn't want to have to interact with somebody. Yeah. The guy wants to buy the book, but they don't know how to ask any questions about the book. Right. And it's like, they pick it up, they read the back of it, and lay it down. Of course, one of my best interactions at a convention, we had a girl named McKayla that went with us, and she was almost wearing a top like what McKayla has there. And she was, and do what, Nick?
Nothing true, Nick, to come out if you missed that.
And this one guy walks up, and he's looking at our flyer, and he's looking at the guest list, and he's watching the pictures. And the McKayla girl looks at him and says, "Hi, how are you doing?" He looked over at her, looked down. His eyes got that big around. His jaw dropped open. He looked over at me like, she spoke to me. I just leaned over and I said, "McKayla, you've got to stop scaring away the geeks. That's our core audience."
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it happens a few times, right, McKayla?
Sometimes, and you got it. That's the other thing. As you do these cons, you'll learn. You can read people a mile away if you get good at this, and you'll know the ones that you can talk to, and the ones that you can say hi to very quietly, and just let them read the back of the book, and then you can say, "Do you have any questions?" Or the looky-loo, that they just want to look. They don't want you to bother them, but you can tell as you get to do the cons. You can tell. Because then there's the other people that you can wave at them from across the way and be like, "Hey, get over here. Come here. Come on. I saw you looking. Come here."
Now, I will do that. I've done it.
I didn't think it would work. I thought I was being a turd, but it worked.
And of course, we've got flyer cards. So, they'll come over and I said, I call them, "I saw you looking here."
Yes.
Nice.
I got to chime in because there's a term for what we're hinting at. And the term is called code switching. And just now, I actually fell into the trap. Because I realized I've been talking a lot, I've been dynamic, now it's time to dial back, and I'm a compulsive sketcher. So I start sketching. However, sketching Nick is a very different person than selling Nick. And And so then I'm like, okay, I want to talk about this, but I don't want. I looked at Nick. You're sketching. Go put that Nick away. Code switching is the McKayla here. Well, actually, I'm normally very bad at it because the Nick you meet is the Nick you meet 99% of the time if given an opportunity. But you have to be able to switch which person you are. So sometimes you'll talk to somebody, or I'll bump into somebody, and wherever I'm at, especially at a con, they need to talk to the Nick that's been a substitute teacher for 12 years and has worked in academics. I can speak very clearly, concisely. I can slow down my speech without being insulting, change my tone, no big drift. Or it's somebody who's nervous, very calming. Then you get somebody who you realize has that spark and they're looking for it. Like if a McKayla walks up, you don't go, "Hi, I hope you're enjoying today." It's like, "How you doing?" "All right, now this is how it's going to go. You don't know it, but you're going to buy something from my table. Let's figure out what matches with you best. Are we going by just what matches your outfit, or do you know what you're looking for?" And that doesn't matter what I'm selling. I've been told I can sell ice to Eskimos, and I've proven it. And I know that's not a nice term. That was a direct quote from my boss, but I sold $15 a pound cheese in a low to medium income area with samples because that was my game. And the part of it is you got to put yourself out there. And yes, guys, some people say, "Well, that's exhausting." You mean it's work? Like, yeah. I love creating and I love falling into the zone where I've got my music going and it's almost spiritual. Like it is a type of meditation. I'm downloading another world, or I'm making something, or I'm drawing, or whatever it is. But when it comes to selling, that is a task, and you have to be willing to put the energy. It would shock people who see my broadcast to know how introverted I am by nature. Because once I get on, I've had days where I come slomping. That if that's not a word, it should be. Willie Shakespeare could make up words. I will too. I come slomping as a semi-viscous Nick. I'm exhausted. I don't feel good. I've seen the doom scroll news. And I sit down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I type my stuff in this little obnoxious light of like pure heaven-sent hellfire that burns in my eye because the sticker falls off of it every time. Beams in, and I'm like, "Oh, alrighty then." Hello, my name's Nick Tockert with the Historical Fencing Guild. How you doing, folks? We got a lot to talk about today. But before we do, and my spiel rolls. And it's not me. Like, there's like a Nick behind the Nick, hands behind his back, like, okay, we're going to roll with. Whoa, dude. Whoa. Honest? No honest Nick. The world can't handle honest Nick right now. I'm going to take over for a minute. Let's answer this question. Okay, you have a question about swords. This will fit your body type, whatever, mechanical. And anybody who watches, I'm almost like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Okay, let me answer your question. Blah, 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 blah. And we're joking about McKayla again. You know what I mean? Like, or, you know, can I get JoeDog to Twitch? Let's see what can happen. You know, oh, somebody's having a bad day. Can I brighten it up? And cons are all about keeping that. You're just DJing your own personality. Mm-hmm. And then if you're doing something, you want to draw, that's fine. Don't draw face on. Draw angled and have a reflective thing here. So if you're creating your drawing, because what will happen is people will creep up, especially your introverts, and the nose will go up. Little bit of micro expression. Watch the nose. Humans are used to smelling better than we do. What you got there? You know? So if I'm drawing or I'm fiddling, I'll do something, but I'll be obnoxious about it. Like the do 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 do. It's like, is that guy actually humming The Girl from Ipanema while he's drawing? What the heck? It's all about a lot of people, and we've seen the obnoxious guys at cons. We're walking around with a gong. Buy my stuff, clang. Yeah. Buy my stuff, clang. And they can't even hear people ask them questions over their own voice. No, you want to be like, it's a lot like fishing for trout. And this is going to sound crazy, but people move in a long stream through whatever vending scenario you're at. They're moving through. So you have to look at where are they going to pool? Where are they going to stop and pause because of the traffic flow? If your setting isn't there, you or representative needs to do something right over there to get them to look at you. And then what do? You're not smacking them on the head with the stick. You just get something little and shiny and annoying. And you go, look, it's like candy. And then, because the assertive people who are interested in what you're doing, you're playing a game, whatever, they'll come up. Assertive people are easy to shop to. You are looking for something I have. I just have to convince you that it's all good. We can work. And, I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm trying to figure out what I have that you actually want. It's a different sales approach. And yes, authors learn to sell. Okay?
Yes,
you know what the difference between Peter Parker and Tony Stark is? Peter Parker's always broke. He's smarter or as smart as Tony Stark. But Tony Stark learned to market himself from his dad. If Peter Parker took some freaking business classes, realized he could sell his webbing to the cops and as construction things, he'd be a billionaire in a minute and a half. But he's too caught up in his bizarre introversion to do that. And I know that's a silly thing, but you got to be your own superhero. Mm-hmm. Like, even if you're lying to yourself, like, I come on and I am going to be the most interesting person at this convention if I walk through the door. And if I'm not, I'm going to up my game to get as most. Now, that's not the loudest. It's not the most abrasive. And it's hard because I'm not an attractive woman. I'm sorry. On a certain measure.
Except on weekends.
It doesn't work for everybody.
It doesn't work for everybody. And I applaud the people who realize that and market it, but they don't only rely on that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But so because I was born with this lovely, like, comfortable, I'm comfortable. Children and puppies come to me. No one takes me serious, and I couldn't, like, I'm biologically incapable of being intimidating, even when I really should be. But I can be goofy, and I can be, so it's like, I'm a Muppet. I'm going to live in my sphere of Muppetdom and make the noise. People are attracted to movement. They're attracted to light. They're attracted to displaced sounds. You don't want to be loud. You don't want to be annoying. But something that doesn't belong will always get their attention. If you see my booth when it's set up, there's a lot of color. There's a lot of display. But everything is spaced by black, so it's not overpowering. You don't want, look, here's a jumble of color. Because that might as well be a gray wall. I see so many people who put those 3-rack bookshelves. And they look great. I've got all my stuff up. That's great. What of it can you actually read?
Mm-hmm. Or the people that sell the little trinkets, but they put them on a cloth that it's got this way too busy design. You can't see what it is that they're selling.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, get a black tablecloth.
We have a black and white set of tablecloths. One is a paisley, but that's where when they do colored stitchery, never do only one thing. You always want a level of generalization. So if you're putting out books, put out stickers. I sell dollar pins. I sell them because at $1 or $0.25, you get a little bit of tiny income, but people value it. If you give away a pin, and this sounds stupid, but if you put a pin up and you say only $0.25, people will buy it. If it has your information, they'll keep it. They'll look at it, assuming the art's good. If it's free, they'll put it in their bag. Yay! The bag will ride home, and then they'll sift out. Oh, I have all this junk. I should, because we're all children grabbing it at the trick or treat bowl, except who we are, folks. They'll grab it. And then they'll discard it at home. So make sure that they've assigned value to it. When somebody buys something, put it in their hand. Set it, because anytime you can make physical contact, that makes you a real person versus screen person. There's this whole, and a lot of authors haven't bothered to learn the art of the sale. They haven't learned the art of interaction, because like this picture I was just sketching, which is okay. This could be fine right now, right? I could go, this is a great picture. Okay, I'm going to put it on table. I'm going to put $1 on this picture when it's done. Now, what do? I put up a sign that says $5, $10, whatever, anime caricatures. And I always have my art stuff right there. Because as soon as I get one person, it only takes one, they have something you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you're going to get them. It's all about attachment, and then have quality. If your stuff is crap, pardon my French here, you won't have a return. But if you do it right, no matter how diverse it is, I've had people who come in for my gaming on one channel. They're like, you run a fencing guild. Yeah. Well, that's kind of interesting. And now they check that out. And guess what? Johnny Cage, he hopped from there to my fencing channel. Now he's watching The Rising Tide. Now he's finding out how awesome McKayla is, how awesome Brian is, how awesome Joe is. I'm all about the slow gestalt. That means I won't get fast results. And the people, I want 20,000 views this month.
Right.
That push. It will burn out your viewers. It's like the people who do campaigns too often. I love a good campaign. Do it by, quarterly. Don't crowdfund every month, because you're going to burn out. You're going to overtax your. It's almost predation economics. Mm-hmm. If you eat the money of your consumers, at some point they won't have enough to provide you more money. So you have to stagger your releases. You have to stagger. Yeah. And people I want to serve, and they get caught up in the 24-hour news cycle style of, I got to keep putting, and then your message gets lost in your own noise. I'm sorry, I kind of went on a full-on random lecture on sales, but I hope it's at least useful to you guys.
That worked. I actually took notes.
Well, good.
Coolness.
But yeah.
Yeah, well, in the process here between all of us, how can you get your singing loud above the noise? And do you have a favorite strategy for getting folks to buy stuff at conventions? I think we've covered most of that, actually.
I actually had the comments turned off because I realized I was getting distracted, so I went full screen with you guys. This is what I do when I run games. I can't have the comments running live about the game. Someone else has to flash the important ones. So I hope that at least starts, and if you guys ever have more questions, I'll be happy to talk more about it, because I've sold a lot of things to a lot of people about a lot of random stuff, and if I can walk into a convention where there's Games Workshop people selling $60 minis and sell homemade wooden robots for like $1 and get them to get people to buy my stuff instead of the Games Workshop Uber brand, I must have figured out something over the years, and I'd love to see you guys on that same par. Something about this Rising Tide list raising all boats. Speaking of, before I go any further, Brian K. Morris actually has a PayPal where you can tip him for what he does. You see, I have no money because all my money goes into doing this. So I encourage you who have money to spend money on Brian K. Morris, because that supports the whole community. It's putting where the most you do can do the most good. And I'll shut up now because Lord knows I've been prattling for too long again. Just like DM me or throw something.
You did real good, and JoeDog got your message. Understood, man.
Right.
And we're gonna start wrapping some of this up, but we've answered a lot of this one about mistakes that people do at conventions, mainly no interaction, no engagement, no even looking up.
Artists there. You're interrupting me. Yes.
Okay. And here's the one thing. Let's change this to the one thing. What is a big mistake that you think people do on broadcasts? I know one of mine. Backlighting. Or actually poor lighting. I see too many people that sit in front of a window, and they look like they're in like a witness protection broadcast, like some sort of broadcast about being in witness protection. Lighting is a big issue with me. So,
for me, it's a lot of background noise.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm in the green room, I don't care. We're in the green room. But if it's a broadcast, I want to pay attention to the person on the broadcast, not whatever's going on in the back.
My big problem is my 6 fur babies.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it's now 7 because of her cat that likes to climb up in my lap. And his name is Mr. Cuddles. He's either Mr. or Cuddles. And Carl's got pictures of him in Mr. mode.
I can imagine, Nick.
I think for me, the absolute worst thing a broadcaster can do is dramatically change their rating. So if somebody, like, there's some shows I know that I'm going to come on and there's going to be occasional swearing, and or like oaths, not even full swears. You know what I mean? But when somebody starts dropping F this, F that, F, or they get I've seen some broadcasts where, especially the panel shows, where somebody will suddenly, and I'm not God, I'm shooting myself in the foot, talk over everybody else, but then they'll start swearing or being gross for I want the attention, so I'm going to be excessively vulgar, excessively swearing, because I watch on my TV usually. I have one TV. I'm old-fashioned. I have one TV that's set up. It's in the living room. My wife and son are usually there. A lot of times I'm watching these on broadcast so I can see everybody clearly, and then texting on my phone. But when they just start that, like the mentality of a middle schooler, I'm cool because I can swear. Grow up. All right, there are times for oaths, there are times for swearing, and sometimes it's dramatically appropriate, But doing it just to look at me, I can swear on the computer. Please, just develop a life or a vocabulary. And if you're going to swear well, like you mean it. I'm not saying. I'm not offended by violence in movies. I'm offended by bad violence in movies. Like, what? What?
Oh, God. I hear you. I agree with all of you. Cindy Kep says, I accidentally went to a Star Trek convention dressed as Chewbacca. It was a Wookiee mistake. Cindy Kep also heard about a philosophy and comedy convention. People laughed more than they thought. And also London held a monocle convention for high-class members of society. It was a respectable spectacle. That was good. And did you hear about the convention for irregular, non-quadrilateral shapes? Be there or be square. Psychics convention canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. What do you call a convention for English teachers? Comic-Con. And she once went to a convention about imposter syndrome, but I had to leave because I felt like I didn't belong. And I tried to sneak into a Star Trek convention disguised as a doctor. The security guard suspected I was not the real McCoy. And the lights went out at a comedy convention, and it became dark humor. And Rick Bradley, glad to have you here. And Skunk Rocker, it's going to end real soon. Don't worry, you'll get to your bedtime.
You will not need the hail pail.
Yeah, you'll or your podcast. They're available now from Rising Tide Industries. Not complaining if it goes all night, just curious. Last week was the show you should have watched if you wanted to go on all night, but it was a good one. And no, we are not. And neither is Nick. And we are caught up with your comments. Thank you all for your comments and your great questions. But this time we're going to leave at a decent hour. I know.
I'm all set for a 2 a.m. run. Gosh darn it.
Well, then go over to the Historical Fencing Guild and don't wait for Friday at 8 p.m. and just go into your rant.
I might just do a show in a bit. We'll see if Sanders is asleep or not.
That sounds good. That sounds good. But anyway, this has been a delight, guys. Thank you. Thank all three of you so much for being here. I do appreciate
it. Up with me.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the easiest thing I did all day. I'm telling you right now. So I'm telling you what, we're going to go around the room. We'll start with JoeDog. We'll go around the room and then tell people how they can keep up what you do and how they can keep up with your amazing exploits. JoeDog, you go first.
Which one? Good grief. There is the Stupid Clock, which has a great Facebook group. There's a page, but the group is more active, to where we post just about anything and everything that is decent to be posted, of some great and funny stuff. Stupid O'Clock airs Thursday night at 9 p.m., Saturday night 11 p.m. on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. And then we've got the Armchair Rocket Science, which airs whenever there's a launch coming up by one of the great launch providers. Next one will be a SpaceX. Well, no, that's the 28th, and I just found out I've got to be in Atlanta that morning. No, we're not going to be covering that one. Will probably be inspiration for the Elon Musk totally private orbital mission. And then there is HalloCon. That is HALLOWCON.com. It's a great fantasy horror convention, Dalton, Georgia. Right now, memberships are only $35 for the badge until October 1st at HalloCon.com.
Beautiful. I can't wait to attend it. Thank you very much, JoeDog McKeel. Next is Nicholas Anthony Tockert. Sir, what have you got for us? How can people keep up with you?
All right. Well, you can find me. Keeping up with me might be a challenge. At the Historical Fencing Guild on YouTube. You can find me at the Historical Fencing Guild Patreon, where $1 a month will get you access to the book in progress and the ability to, dictate and kick into what I actually am doing on the Historical Fencing Guild channel. There's actually a Historical Fencing Guild public group on Facebook. You do have to be approved because I ask only for English speakers. There was some confusion about an Arabic group band with the same acronym. My books can be purchased at amazon.com/author/Nicholas Tockert, and my art can be found at www.deviantart.com/Nick T. I am available for contact best at my Twitter, because my personal Facebook is kind of being pruned down to family and associates. So really, if you want to be random drop in, hit me on Twitter. And yeah, other than that, I appear on everyone's show I can find a way to weasel my sorry self into. That's, folks like Stupid O'Clock, Clever Title Pending. I comment relentlessly on Nevermind the Furthermore if I am awake. Other than that, close your eyes in front of a mirror, chant 3 times, and give us a summons, and I may just show up. Stay out of the Forbidden Forest, because the Feywalds are leaking, and I may or may not be strolling through to deal with that. Thank you, and moving on.
Thank you, Nicholas Tockert. And McKayla Jade, just try and follow that.
Oh, that's easy. I have morning motivations on YouTube, so if you get your butt out of bed in the morning, catch me on YouTube very first thing, because I'll get you up and get you going. And then Tidbits and Scribbles every Monday night, where I teach you some of the things about writing that you may or may not know, give you some tidbits. And you can find me on Facebook. It's the easiest way to get a hold of me is Facebook or Facebook Messenger if you have questions.
Fantastic. Thank you, McKayla. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all of you being here, especially on such short notice today. And,
RisingTide.pub. Follow it. What?
Yes.
Right there. Anyway, thank you guys, and I'm going to take the screen, mute you all, but please stick around long enough for me to say goodnight to you properly. So, anyway, taking that. Okay, doing my directions on air, and they mute themselves. God bless you all. Anyways, I'm Brian K. Morris, the host of the show, and I'm so glad everyone was here. Cindy Cap, thank you for hosting the adventure. Much fun for all. Cindy, thank you for all you've done tonight. CKOEPB.com for the best newsletter. Also, check out bearpublications.com so you can pick up her brand new comic, Animal Eye #1, based on her novel, which you can also pick up there. And Scott Grecker says, I have a couple things I'd like saved before the show ends. butt cheeks. You'll never catch me saying that, though. See, I'm onto your trickery, and they still haven't fixed it. So much for back with you in half an hour. Pray for Cindy. She's having interwebs troubles. But anyway, folks, thank you all for being here. We do appreciate each and every one of you. And again, RG Westerman will be back. Will be on the show September 14th, due to unforeseen circumstances. She had to not be here, I'm sorry to say. But we also got have some thank yous to extend. And the first one is to our sponsor, Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. You know, I worked hard on the book Snow Ambition, the fourth in the Snow series, or the Snow short series by Bobby Nash. And so they wanted to put an excellent cover on it. So they got Plasma Fire Graphics to do that for me. It's available right now on Amazon for 99 cents. It's a one-shot, quick read crime thriller. But check it out. Isn't it a beautiful cover? Well, Jeffrey Hayes can do the same thing for you in your book. He can also create graphics that'll help you sell it on social media, as well as beautiful book trailers, just like the one you saw for Plasma Fire Graphics. Check out their Facebook page. Check out plasmafiregraphics.com and contact them and find out what their rates are. Okay, they're very affordable. Trust me on this one. Anyway, that is Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers. And someone who matters to me are my Patreon patrons. Thank you very much. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly at a modest stipend every month. And these are the folks that help keep this show thriving, and we appreciate each and every one of them. We got a couple more to put up on that card, and if you want to become one of my patrons, please check out www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris and find out what I will give you in return for your support. Also, check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, 7 days a week of entertainment and information. Tomorrow morning, I'll be back with Nevermind the Furthermore, and tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming put on the Truthmongers. It's always a great examination of modern mythology and conspiracy theories. Always a fascinating show. And some programming notes. Friday morning, Nevermind the Furthermore will be hosted by Carl Witzman. I'm really looking forward to that. I won't be able to do the show otherwise, but please tune in to Carl, because he's a lot of fun and he's better at it than I am. So check it out. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Next week, we are going to have the great Glenn B. Fleming on. He's got a brand new book and CD coming, or DVD, I should say. And it is about the time he spent with artist and writer and editor and publisher Jack Kirby. It's going to be a fascinating show. Glenn is very well spoken, and he's done a lot of great work. So please check out next week's show. And I believe that's it. So, folks, thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow on Clever Title Pending, and 1 week from now again tomorrow on Nevermind the Furthermore. Next week will be Clever Title Pending, folks. As always, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Thanks for watching Clever Title Pending.